Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Another episode of Trash Talk. I am Damian Hill. With me, as always, is TJ O'Connor. And tonight we are joined with our very special guest, newly signed UFC heavyweight, Thomas the Train Petersen, who's coming off of a very spectacular win over Dana White's Contender Series. I mean, dude, this is the first time we've talked in a long time, and the first time we've talked since the victory. Dude, what was that whole experience like going into that fight camp and everything? Or I guess, yeah, going into the fight camp, going out to Vegas for the fight, being able to perform in front of Dana White, doing the press conference afterwards. Like, talk me through that whole experience.
Man, it's just it's a blessing to get a chance to go and compete. I guess that was that was a lot of questions. So I guess it was all good. You know, it was all a great experience. We worked really hard. We got to wrestle with a lot of good wrestlers. Like Brett Favre was a huge help. Who was a gopher. I think he was a 3-time or 2-time All-American, and he was a finalist, Division I finalist. And the only reason he wasn't a national champ is because Jaden Cox was in the way, and he had a real tough match, but that's a hard guy to beat. And that guy lit up a room when he came and worked out. Was just super super nice guy and genuine. And then like Gable Stevenson, I got a chance to work out with that cat a couple of times, and another super super nice guy. And then these guys are pushing me and beating me, so I'm getting beat in the room a little bit, which is never a bad thing, and especially in wrestling. And then like Stephen Asplin, you guys, I know you guys know him, who he was one of my main MMA partners, throughout this whole camp. And that guy doesn't quit, hits hard, and just a really gritty guy to go with. So you never want a partner that quits. And so it was always fun going with him. And I got nothing but good things to say about them guys. And I got to work out with Nick, the Goat Thompson, who is a legend from the game, who really helped me push out through the rounds. And just another guy who doesn't quit. You think that he's getting a little older. He would kind of be trying to just be a coach, but that guy wants to go in and bang and work out and have hard practices, man. So and then Caitlin Young was super good through this camp too. Who I did a lot of sparring and stuff with her, which is it's more like touch and go sparring, but just really really helps your eyes. And then there's no egos really with any of those guys, but with Caitlin Young, there's definitely no egos when we're working out, which it makes it really really fun and just a learning environment. When a dude hits you and kind of you feel like you got hit a little too hard, everything gets picked up instantly. Next thing you know, you're going 100%, right? But it was never like that with Caitlin. It was, she knew what I needed throughout this camp, and it was just really, really good. And then Billy Simon was a big part of this camp too, and who I don't know if you guys know who that is, but just a guy that loves the game, and did whatever he could to help me out through this camp, and it was amazing. And then during the fight, like during the preparation, we flew out there on Saturday, which felt like a day too long. And man, like I got like food poisoning, or I got maybe nerves or something, but my stomach just completely got messed up till like Tuesday. And we were able, to push through it, and no problems with it. Like that was just it. Like we just tried to stay hydrated, and I never really got like a fever or anything, but I just got like just my stomach just had to like unload. You know what I'm saying? It's not trying to be gross, but then yeah, like I don't, it was everything was great, and then we got to the fight and we performed, and whatever, God's good. It was great. So that was basically the summary of everything, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a beautiful, and you're able to go in there and do exactly what you do, and obviously get the contract. Now, you talk about the great work you're able to get during camp. With the Contender Series fights, they're not usually a big press release as far as when the fights are announced. How far did you know about the fight, and what did you know about your opponent leading into the fight?
I got like a 12-week notice. I think we were in camp 12 weeks, and my son was born kind of right before we were gonna start camp, and so I wanted to wait till he was born, and a week after I would start working out hard, and we knew so it's kind of a stressful situation, but my wife is so great that it everything it worked out nice, and I knew Chandler Cole was tough. Like he's easy to overlook, and a lot of people do that and get caught and pay the price for it, right? And so I knew he's used to having people doubt him, which kind of helps you when you don't have people are talking shit. It's like you have no expectations. Go in there and make some noise, and he's good at that. And so I took him very seriously. I knew he was athletic. I knew he was able to do things that normal heavyweights can't do, like the spinning kicks and shit. Like, so we really, Caitlin and Nick were just great. I made him throw spinning kicks at me all the time just to see the shit. And then another guy I didn't give a shout out to was Swinging Dick. He came and
Dick
worked out with me.
Lagus?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That guy was another person who was all in it for me. Would let me hit him kind of hard and wasn't afraid to get hit and able to have hard spars. And it was the height. We were looking for the height was the biggest thing. These guys were 6'5", 5'10", and I'm not used to fighting guys that height. I'm used to fighting guys that are 6'4", 6'5", and just whatever. So and it's hard. It's harder to take a short guy down than it is to take a taller guy down. It's harder to get to the legs, and just because they're naturally in a better stance. Just because I got to change more levels to get to the legs, rather than a taller guy, you can almost step right into a shot. And so I knew his wrestling. He was a decent wrestler, and the dude's a likable guy. Like, I don't know if you guys ever like researched him or watched his interviews.
Yeah.
Like, I got there, man, and I'm like, I end up talking to everybody. I never like hate anybody that I fight, but I ran into him probably like 8 times before we fought. Like, everywhere we went, we kind of just crossed paths. And the first time we talked, it was like "What's up, dude? Hey, good luck, brother." The next time we passed, it was like, "Hey, man, where you going? Where you going tonight? You gonna go have a fun night?" Like, just curious of like, because we're stuck we were there for a long time. We got there Saturday and we fought Tuesday night. And you're not trying to go out and party. You're trying to be smart. And like I said, like I had a messed up stomach, so I didn't really get to do anything. And so, but it was crazy, and I really started to like the guy, and the guy just was very humble, very, he's like, and he wasn't disrespectful at all, and every time he talked, he's like, "I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this. My camp went really good, man. I'm excited to fight you." And I respect you too, I trained really hard for you too. So it was just good competitive love.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So after you secured the victory, what was the next step? Like walking backstage and everything, were you told immediately that you got the contract, or did you have to sit and wait?
We sat and wait, man. We had no idea. And then the fighters
Oh.
next to me too, like the left, like there was a couple of guys that were so excited. Everybody was really excited. They won. They got here and they won. And a couple
Yeah.
guys, they didn't get the contract for whatever reason. And I honestly, man, I felt terrible about that. Like, I was like, because I don't know, it's just weird, but it's business, baby. We're just pieces of meat out there, right? And
Yeah.
once you understand that, things get a lot easier. And
Yeah. Well, sorry.
well, no, that was basically it. But walking back, the guy goofed my name up, right? But one of the funniest things I remember is I'm walking back, Jamal Hill, right? Jamal Hill sitting in the crowd, and I'm not starstruck, but I'm a fan of these guys, right? Like,
Yeah.
and so I'm walking back and I hear, "Congratulations, Mr. President." And it's Jamal Hill. And I'm like, like, he's got his big grills on, or whatever. And I was excited to see him, just because I'm a big fan. And he gave me a nux and a smile, and I thought that was a cool experience.
Yeah. No, that's definitely great. I don't know why I asked that question because I've seen the contender series. I know you guys have to wait. That was,
Yeah.
oh my God, that was, I feel stupid now.
No.
No, I have to point it out in myself because I'm better than that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
First here.
Did it record? Is it recorded?
It's recording now. Okay. All right, everybody. Apologies for the technical difficulties on that end. But no, getting the chance to talk with the former UFC champion and then being addressed as Mr. President, that's definitely an experience that goes on for a while. As far as just taking back to the fight a little bit, the actual fight itself, coming out, there was a lot of talk leading up that, he was the striker, was going to want to keep it standing up, and then, if you're going to want to get him down. Well, did you kind of make that a point to stand and bang with him early to try to earn that respect, or was that just something that happened in the flow of the fight?
That definitely just happened on the flow of the fight, man. I was just trying to. I don't go in there with much of a plan, but I started to create a template, and I wanted to get my jab kind of established. I'm not afraid to strike, but I think it's kind of a stupid game if you're going to play the strike with in the heavyweights where it just takes one fucking punch to change a fight. And not that I could take a few of them sandwiches, but why take them now? And so I was looking just to make shots. I wasn't gonna dive in. I wasn't gonna telegraph any shots, and just catch a knee or something stupid. And so I just did what I had to do. But that's my game plan going forward. Is I'm gonna strike. I'm gonna strike to wrestle. I'm gonna try to wrestle you. You don't know, and I'm gonna get you on the ground. I'm gonna beat you up. And if you could try to stop it, man, but we'll see what happens. Is how I'm going forward.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that you kind of have that game plan going forward with your future opponents because we know you have the ability to wrestle. We know you have great submission skills as you just displayed. And we know your game goes much deeper than that as well with your striking. We know that's always developing. You're always getting better there as well. So going forward, knowing that, letting your opponents know, hey, this is what I'm planning to do to you. Try and stop it. And we already know you got something in your back pocket ready in case they do stop it.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
So
if it goes, if somebody does stop it, we can strike for a little bit. But I bet you're gonna forget about my wrestling when we're striking.
yeah.
And then so we'll see what I'll get you just a bite on it, and then once you start biting on it, then I'm gonna take you down.
Yeah, I mean, and when you see the success with a lot of these Russian sambo fighters that are in the UFC right now, again, the division that you're going to, now when you see the success of them with their ground game, and you also understand the dangers of standing up and striking with the heavyweight, but also knowing that you still possess those same dangers,
Absolutely.
how do you feel the other heavyweights in the division will try to approach you, and how successful do you think you're? Or I actually, that's a stupid question. I'll stick with the question.
Yeah, man. I just think that it's a tried and true method, like the heave and like GSP even, right? Like obviously it's a good plan. If you're not well rounded enough to where somebody can just dominate you in one position, why won't you go to that position? And so I'm just excited. I'm excited to see what happens. I feel like you know I feel like I'm blessed, and God's really great, and so I just want to go out and just go out and have fun and see what happens.
Yeah, and then, so, you go see what happens. You had a chance, obviously we saw the thing, you talked to Laura, the camera goes off. Did you have a chance to speak with Dana or any of the matchmakers off camera, and what was that conversation like?
No, I didn't have any chances to talk with anybody off camera. It's a business back there, man.
Yeah.
Like there's always a camera in front of you, and
Yeah.
I just got to shake his hand and say thank you, and I'm gonna give it hell.
Yeah. Well, I have to bring it back actually. Now that TJ brought up the background situation, because I know they make the fighters wait. Oh my God, that was a stupid question for me to ask. What I was meaning to ask is that did anybody like hint to you that it might be you that would be picked? And you kind of already answered that, or did you? I don't know.
Uh I think man, you gotta finish out there. I think good things happen, and so I wasn't. I did everything I could. I thought I fought a smart, dominating fight, and if they want us to throw out there and fight like a bar, I don't think they want to see that. I'd rather think they would see somebody, put on I don't want to say a clinic, but try to dominate rather than just trying to be a haymaker fest. It might be more want that for the UFC too. I'm sure they wouldn't mind it. Don't get me wrong, but I think if they have a fight fighter that can dominate, I think they want that guy too, and it worked out for me.
Yeah. All right. Now, I kind of want to bring it back again as well, because while you're sitting back there waiting for the contract, certain names are announced and certain names aren't announced. You are in a fraternity of fighters that, like, I mean, for the normal people, a lot of people don't fight, obviously, and even for the fighters, there's not a lot of us out here. You're in a special fraternity. Like, what was the feeling knowing that the guys who even won didn't get contracts? And possibly if you didn't win, or you didn't perform in the best way, even if you did win and didn't get a contract, would you still feel hopeful that you would still get to the UFC? And do you feel hopeful for the guys that won but didn't get a contract?
Man, it's it's tough, right? Like during like a month ago or 2 months ago, I can't remember. They brought us out to get interviewed, right? And they asked you a question. They got a smile, right? They're like, "How good does it feel to be that you're 1 inch away from the UFC? How good does it feel?" And you know what came to my mind, and I told them this too. I go, "Man, you might think it's 1 inch, but the other guy sees 1 inch too, and so it's pass or fail. There's no oh, I could take a step back here and you're still now you're 2 inches away. It's fucking back to the regional scene. It's a year, of going out and competing and going out at the least, and trying to build yourself back up, and then to not have a slip up again. And so I feel good. Everybody was young on that stage, even the guys who lost were still, if not, entering their primes still yet, and I got anybody who keeps pushing and has the right mindset will succeed eventually, and if it's meant to be, right? If and so I think as long as they have that in their heart that I'm gonna go in there and compete, I'm gonna go in there, I still can do this, they can do it. Like I think Chandler Cole isn't far off, and them other guys I don't think is far off either to go out and just takes one lucky break. But it's just funny how this show it's one it's just one fight away, but that other guy is thinking the same thing, and it's crazy. It's just a crazy environment. It's a crazy experience, and man, it was fun. It was fun either way, but it was stressful. Just I don't know how to put it. And then you put it on the line, right? And there's no guarantee, and that's what's nuts about it too. So it was an experience.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about that experience and the mental pressure that comes in with leading up to it, and then now you're post it. You win, you performed. You were one of the ones that got the contract. A week out now. Does it feel like, oh, I'm in the UFC, or is that something that you feel like when you make your debut and you're in the building making that walk is when you're gonna go, all right, now I'm here?
No, brother. Like I feel like I just got to the dance, is what it feels like, and it's one thing to get there. But now let's go get the bell of the ball, baby. Let's go out and let's do what we're here for. The regional scene, like I said, man, it's cutthroat. There's no money. Like there's a lot of people that want to support you and help you along and do the best that they can, and I want and I'm so thankful for them people. But man, you can't make a living off of it, and especially when you got kids and you're married and have a house and trying to do right by the people beside you, and it's just tough. And so now, like, I'm excited. Like my wife gets a chance to stay home now, and so it makes childcare super easy, and for me to really go after it. And so that's what I'm excited. I feel I'm so blessed, and I thank God every day that I get a chance to do it. But now it's time to really compete. Now it's time to really let's fight smart, no hiccups. Let's go in there and let's see how far we can really go now that we're here.
Oh, dude, that was beautiful. That was Oh, I loved everything of what you just said. There's absolutely no question. I know TJ probably has one. I just had to say that before he asked you what he's going to ask you.
Yeah, I mean, I think the question there is, I've been waiting on it the whole time. Was you go back to what Damian brought up earlier, the post-fight press conference, and you're having a chance to get up there and speak, and you kind of mentioned potentially a date you had in mind for the fight. I was wondering, when you're looking to make that UFC debut and what you do know about, if your manager's been talking to anybody yet.
Bro, I don't know shit. I heard a date of December 2nd, but I don't know if it's true or not. And I maybe should have clarified before I said anything. But if they do, I want to fight in 3 months either way. I want to take 2 weeks off, and I want to recover. Everybody's got bumps and bruises, and I want to get back to feeling great and really get back in the camp with a fresh body. But either way, if they called me tomorrow and said, "Hey, we got an opponent in a week," I'd probably take it just to get going again. And because I'm in shape, I feel great. I just, like I said, everyone's got a bump or a bruise here and there, and so I want to recover. But if not, that's no big deal. But a 3-month camp is perfect,
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. I want to continue this conversation so much. You have no idea, but I know you got to get going, and I appreciate the time that you've taken with us, dude. You have no
man,
idea.
We got to talk about this LFA card coming up, man. Are you guys excited for that?
Oh yes. Oh my God. If we're going down there, let's go down that. Yes. Oh my God, dude. So CJ Hayes is one of my most favorite personalities around in the local
absolutely
scene. Dude, he's such a great guy. We actually just interviewed him. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm most excited for his fight on that card. And then I'm not trying to disrespect Sean McPadden or Mitchell McKee, because that is, I mean, as a Minnesotan,
that's exciting.
dude. I mean, I've been in the MMA scene forever.